Hi guys, Finch here and welcome down to a new video section which is going to be appearing on the channel, and this is all about how I'm using my stats to try and improve and to try and get better in competitions, all heading towards the quest for the Open. I'm going to be doing these videos in conjunction with My Round Pro. So it's an app on the phone where you keep your stats, but it's all based on the strokes gain system. Now what my plan is to do practice rounds, competition rounds, split the videos up so I'm changing and managing my practice in a way which is based on previous performances, trying to identify weaknesses, so on the next competition, on my next round, I'm a better golfer. And the first video is going to be based around the comp that I've got on Thursday. So it's a Pro-Am and it's going to be played at Hesketh, which is a course I've had mixed performances at in the past, shall we say. I've played brilliantly there, so I've actually won a couple of one Junior Open there, came second in a Junior Open there. Also going to be playing there with my dad, which could be interesting. He's going to be having his new clubs on the go. So the first thing we're going to do is have a very quick recap of what I was doing at Fleetwood. So this was my last competition and my last input into My Round Pro. And you can see I shot a 56, but that was only over 14 holes, unfortunately. But my strokes gained, these are all based against a Tour Pro baseline. My driving, my short strokes, and my putting was... So the only part of my game which was stronger than the Tour Pro baseline was my approach shots to the green. So with my irons from the fairways, they were generally good. So what I'm going to do is base my practice around improving my driving and my short shots, so my pitches, but most of all around my putting. And that's what I'm going to try and work towards, to improve the strokes gained with my putting, with my short game and with my driving, and hopefully maintain or improve my approach play. So the first thing I'm going to practice is going to be my wedge play. And I'm going to focus more on my putting technique at home using the Visio mat that I've got there and actually trying to pick a putter to play the round with, which is a whole different story to this video. And I'm going to basically create a test that I can do, ranging from all my wedge shots, trying to get as high a score as possible. So let's do that and let's talk you through the actual game I've created. So what I've done is I've created a wedge ladder test. Weird camera angle. This is the test I've created. It's 17 shots. All the wedges will be used. It's all the way up to 130 yards. My target here, first shot is 50 yards. The blue ring signifies 5 points. The white is 3, and the green to the outside is only the 1 point. I'm pretty sure the best score I've got so far is 63. Don't quote me on that, but I'm going to go through all my wedges and try and score as high as possible. So I won't show all the shots, I'll just show the basic highlights, and fingers crossed I can shoot better than 63 and then better again. Not quite. So that's up to 80 yards now, and that was all with the lob wedge. I was pretty happy with all of them apart from that last shot. Now I'm going on to 85 yards, and that is pretty much a perfect half sandwich for me. Well, fingers crossed. So we're now up to 95 yards, which again I'm going to swap up to the 52 degree because it's pretty much just that perfect half a swing, again, hopefully. 105, so pretty much a full gap wedge here now. Ah. .72, so it's already my best score on this test by quite a long way. Let's try and finish off with a nice one. The 130 wedge, just nice and smooth. I could probably hit this 140 if I hit it hard. Just going to grip down very slightly, nice smooth swing. Ah, damn, just missed it right. So that's going to leave me with, how many points overall? 75. It's good. Okay, 75 points overall. I think sometimes you've got to say, that's a good practice. So I've noted down all the clubs that I used there. I'm going to make sure that goes back into the bank of shots that I already know about the distances. So when I'm faced with those distances on the course, I know which shots to call upon. Now I'm just going to have a little bit of work on the full swing, especially with that driver, just trying to get it into the right position. Right, that is practice done. Shutter is half up. I'm going to just take all my stuff into the car and then go. I've only in effect really hit about 25 full shots there, but if you take into account all the practice swings that I did, I've had more than well over 100 swings there. So just trying to grind it in, just trying to gradually make those movements in. But I've got some golf planned for tomorrow. I'm going to have another little practice round using my Round Pro as well, because there's a practice function on there rather than a competition function. So the next day, and it is time to get some strokes gained information. So out here at Stockport, just done some filming this morning with this young man. He's not been off his phone all day. This is Craig. So we've got some videos which are coming out very, very soon. If you don't know who Craig is, please check him out on social media. Is it Craig Salter Golf?
That's the one.
Craig Salter Golf. All the links are appearing here around his head. So really good videos today. Did some videos with Rick yesterday as well. And now we're just gonna have a bit of a knock, and you're gonna get some photos and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some pictures.
He's very arty. He's very an arty boy. Very arty.
That's like pitched in the hole and spun back out of it. Perfect. Great shot. Yeah, good putt. Finally got the pace. Yeah.
Good morning, guys. Down at Hesketh Golf Club, and it is comp time, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Playing with my dad today, and it's a Staleford competition, winter series. Again, you know, you hopefully know the drill by now, and I just want a good finish to the end of the year. I just want to go out and try and attack it. My dad's using his old clubs though. He's got his new clubs, he's using his old ones. He doesn't want to actually use his new ones before he's had a chance to test them out at the academy. He's a strange old breed. Right, let's go figure this out. So we're about to get out. I've gone for a new look today. I think it's pretty strong, very wintry like. We're gonna have a good time today, aren't we? Let me just clean this lens. Oh no, I thought it was the lens, it is just you. Had a chat with Simon, who I'm playing with today, and he said, yeah, just pop the camera down wherever you want to make sure it edits and I'll look great. Mark doesn't know about this yet, but you're going to be on camera. Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, he's good at editing though.
I'm not that good. Right then, back in coaching, and I'm finished for the Friday, so I wanted to do the roundup of the first My Round Pro video. Yesterday was my last comp of this year. Had a great time, played with Simon, Lucas and Mark as well, who I played with before. really good day. The golf was interesting, shall we say. Almost felt like a little bit of a regression in some respects yesterday. It was more of old me. So really bad start, settled down and then played better. So I was 5 over through 5 holes. It was a Stableford comp, but that's what I would have been scratch, basically. That makes sense. Stroke play, that's the word I'm looking for. I think the reasons for my slow start yesterday weren't as clear-cut as maybe they are usually. So normally when I have a slow start, it's because I'm nervous. So I wasn't nervous yesterday, but it was very cold. I couldn't get settled down into a rhythm because to play the first 5 holes, I think it took us almost an hour and a half. It was a really, really long process. We were at the back of the Pro-Am and it just kept backing up, so I couldn't get comfortable. Hit a 3-putt on the first, and putting I'll get to in a moment, and then just couldn't get comfortable until about the 6th hole, where I just absolutely unleashed a drive down the fairway. And then I was 1 under from that point, so I finished 4 over through the 18 holes. So to look through my strokes gain yesterday, you can see it's very topped and tailed. So my driving, I lost a lot of strokes against that pro baseline. Putting, I lost a lot more, but then I was pretty even on my approach shots, and then I actually gained shots on my chipping and my short shots. I have to say my short game yesterday was back to the point where I think it was a few months ago when I was doing a lot of the scramble tests. Not so much the pitching, which still needs improving, but certainly chipping around the greens. And that ties into some of the practice I've been doing this work. I've been working on my wedges. I've done a scramble test vlog with Craig Salter as well, which I will release. So it makes sense as far as that side. And my putting yesterday was... So I settled on a putter. I put a new one of those P2 grips on a ping putter, one of the Volt ones, and it sits great. It looks really good. I feel quite confident with it. But the only problem was I was hitting so many good putts that just were not going in. And that was the same for our entire group. So the 4 of us, we just couldn't seem to hole anything of a decent distance. And I was struggling so hard to judge the pace of the greens. So at Hesketh, they'd almost compacted the greens, rolled them, and then cut them. So they were unusually fast for this time of the year. And because we're at the back of the field and they were slightly damp, there's a lot of spike marks. So they were fast and slightly bobbly, which is never a good combination. But it was so difficult to judge the pace, and all the way around I was constantly hitting it miles past the hole and having to hold quite a few good putts coming back just to try and save pars or even bogeys. So just have a very quick look through the round here. My driving actually was okay. When I actually lost strokes against the field, I think that was partly down to the distances that I was hitting, but the first 5 holes as well, incredibly windy, all the drives into wind, so I was lacking a bit of distance there. And when the ball was pitching on the fairway, it was just stopping. So I think that's one of the reasons why I've lost some strokes. You see here on the 3rd, lost the ball off to the right-hand side, lipped out for a birdie on the 3rd. I horseshoed out and it went about 12 foot away. That's how quick the greens were. But this is pretty stereotypical of how I started. This was on the 5th hole. I've hit 3 wood to the right-hand side. It's only gone 200 yards because it's into wind. It was clean and place on the fairways, not in the rough. And that was a mistake because the ball was picking up so much mud. I topped a 3 wood from that point because it was really sat down. I was trying to get it up to the green. Hit a pitching wedge from 60 yards, went beyond the flag. 3-putted after hit my first putt, you guessed it, past the hole. And as soon as I got to the 6th, then it settled down. So driver, a little bit of wind off the right-hand side and into. Managed to get a good second shot, missed my putt. Had a good birdie on the next after a fantastic up and down on the par 5. And then I was hitting loads of good approach shots. You can see just how many 2-putts I had, but I couldn't seem to get the ball in the hole for a birdie. So when I missed the green, I managed to get up and down really well. And when I was on the green, I just couldn't hole a putt until I got to the 12th, where I missed a fairway slightly off to the right, knocks it onto the green, got lucky. I had a massive mud ball just in the semi-rough, couldn't clean it. It was going out of bounds. It like hooked and then sliced back onto the green. Managed to hold a good putt. Managed to get a decent par on the next after hitting in the water. A terrible 3-putt there on the 14th. 15th didn't get up and down again. Hit some good putts. 16th was good. The one thing to say about the 17th and the 18th, guys, I missed those off. They were normally 2 par 5s, but they're doing a lot of work. So one was due to a very short par 3. The other was a par 4. Managed to get basically pars on those, so they wouldn't have really affected too much on the strokes gained. So if we have a look at the strokes gained, if we start off with the putting, Oh, honestly, it was frustrating because I feel that this is not representative of how I putted. I feel I putted well, but I just couldn't pick the line or the pace. Well, no, that's not true. I couldn't get the pace because I was starting the ball off on the lines that I wanted. So you can see I didn't miss anything from inside 3 feet or 3 feet. That was fine. Between 3 feet and 6 foot, I missed half my putts, which again is not great. And then you can see from outside 9 feet, didn't hole a single thing. And again, this is a problem because those are the areas that I'm going to be having for birdie putts. And if I'm not holding those putts, then I am not going to be scoring well. And as much as I can say that I hit the putts well, they just didn't go in, it was one of those days, they didn't go in. So I can't use that continually as an excuse, but that felt to me, ball on the roof. So in total on that round, I lost 6.7 shots to the field on that pro baseline. And again, it really identifies the putting. Move more into the centre. So again, it shows that my putting is a weakness. I need to get better at that. It shows my short game is getting better after the practice that I've done, which is great. My approach play is relatively solid, and I need to really define what my driving is. So what I'm hoping to do is really double down on my strengths. So my chipping, really improve that. My putting, I need to get that better. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I am at the moment a streaky putter, so I can putt well at times, but then I can have rounds like yesterday where I don't hole anything. Because bear in mind, when I speak about putting like that, when I felt I was unlucky, what I mean by that is I couldn't judge the pace. And if I can't judge the pace of a green, then I'm not going to be able to hold put. So obviously that needs to improve. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this first My Round Pro video. Hopefully this gives you an insight into how I'm going to be analysing my game and then how you can use the stats to help improve your game and really understand some key differences, what's going on. The app is more detailed than what I've shown as well in these last few videos, so you can go in stroke by stroke, hole by hole, club by club into what clubs are performing the best as well, but I need to build up a little bit more of a catalogue before I start doing that. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I will try and find a way to maybe condense it a bit more, but I am well aware that as I carry on speaking it's going to get longer, so do all that, comment below, let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Okay, slick outro.